Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of POSH Awareness, and we will cover important timeline and key components to consider in drafting POSH policy. So the first point here is filing of complaints within 3 months of the incident. The aggrieved woman must file a written complaint with the internal committee or local complaint committee within 3 months from the date of the incident. In case of a series of incidents, the complainant must be filed within 3 months from the last incident. The IC committee may extend the time limit by another 3 months if the complainant provides valid reason for the delay. The second part is initial inquiry and the responses within 7 days. The IC sends a copy of the complaint to the respondent, that is accused, within 7 days of the receiving of the complaint. The respondent must submit a written response within 10 days of receiving the complaint. Conciliation, that is settlement, if the complainant requests, the IC may attempt conciliation or settlement between the complainant and the respondent, but monetary settlement is not allowed as a resolution. If a settlement is reached, the case is closed and no further inquiry is conducted. If conciliation is not opted for or fails, the inquiry proceeds. The next point is inquiry process or completion of inquiry within 90 days. The IC must complete the inquiry within 90 days from the receipt of the complaint. Both parties can present evidence and witnesses. The inquiry must follow the principles of natural justice. Next point is submission of reports and recommendation by IC or LC within 10 days of completion of the inquiry. After completing the inquiry, the IC must submit its findings and recommendation to the employer within 10 days. The report must state whether sexual harassment occurred and suggest appropriate action. Sixth point is implementation of a recommendation within 60 days of completion of the inquiry. The employer must act upon the recommendations within 60 days from the date of receiving the report. Disciplinary action may include warning, suspension, termination, or other legal remedies. Either party can file an appeal within 90 days of the recommendation. The appeal can be filed before an appropriate court or tribunal as per the applicable rules. This entire situation should be kept with utmost confidential and limited people should be allowed or involved to deal with case. Next, we will understand the key components to consider in POSH policy. First is policy objective. Define the purpose of the policy, ensuring a workplace free from sexual harassment. Establish compliance with the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013. Ensure zero tolerance for sexual harassment. The next point is scope of the policy. Applicable to all employees, permanent, temporary, contract workers, interns, consultants, and even visitors. Covers all workplace locations including branch office, client location, third-party sites, and virtual environments like, for example, email, social media, and work calls. Third is definition of sexual harassment. So definition or meaning of workplace, employees, employer, aggrieved, respondent, IC, that is internal committee, clearly define what constitutes sexual harassment, including unwelcome physical contact and advances, request for sexual favor, sexually colored remark, display of pornographic or obscene skin material, any other unwelcome sexual conduct, for example, verbal, non-verbal, or physical. The fourth point is internal complaint committee. Establish an internal complaint committee. A presiding officer should be woman employee in a senior position. At least 2 employee members, 1 external member with POSH knowledge. Ensure at least 50% of IC members are women. Define IC roles and responsibilities. provide IC training for handling complaints effectively. Fifth point is complaint filing process. Define how an employee can file a complaint, whether it can be written, email, verbal to be followed by a written statement. Time frame for lodging a complaint within 3 months from the incident. Allow third party reporting in case where the victim is unable to file, and responsibilities or the owner of the task. The sixth point is complaint redressal mechanism. Outline confidential and impartial investigation procedures. Specify timeline as we discussed from acknowledging complaints to reporting and resolution, that is final decision. Seventh point is manner of taking action. Define possible actions like counseling, warning, suspension, termination, or legal action. False complainant to be penalized appropriately. Eighth point is confidentiality and retaliation protection. Maintain confidentiality of complainant's identity, proceedings and evidence, inquiry findings and decisions. No retaliation against complainants or witnesses. Ninth is awareness and training. Conduct POSH training session for all employees annually. Display POSH policy at the workplace. Sensitize employees on acceptable workplace behavior. Eighth, 10th point is reporting and compliance. Submit an annual report to the appropriate authorities. Regular IC meetings for reviewing cases and ensuring compliance. And the 11th point is legal compliance and amendments. So ensure compliance with POSH Act 2013 and any other applicable laws. Amend policy as per organizational requirements, and further you can also add FAQ, that is frequently asked questions related to this topic. So for any inquiries related to POSH, drop an email or WhatsApp us on the details provided on the screen. You can also suggest more HR related topics you would like to learn about, and we will cover them in future videos. Till then, thank you.